It's time to get predatory with Glissa. This is my Glissa Herald of Predation deck that I have deemed scrambled eggs because of all the incubate tokens that it makes. So let's take a look at Glissa here if you don't know what she is or what she does. Glissa Herald of Predation, 3, a black and a green for a 3/5 Phyrexian zombie elf that has 3 out choices on it. You pick one at the beginning of combat on your turn. You can incubate 2 twice, which means you create 2 incubator tokens with 2 +1/+1 counters on them. Transform all incubator tokens you control, which means you don't have to pay the 2 to transform them, they just turn over with her ability. Or Phyrexians you control gain first strike and death touch until end of turn. The incubators actually turn into Phyrexians, and she herself is one, so they would all gain that ability, plus any other Phyrexians you might have in the deck. So the rest of the deck is pretty straightforward. We have our usual protection suite in the first column, just things to keep her alive. I threw Deadly Dispute in here because it didn't have a category. It's really the only card draw spell I have in the deck today. Then we have removal, just ways of clearing the path to get our stuff through. We're getting rid of problem cards across the board from us. We have our mana stuff where we just have, big mana, small mana, mana dorks, mana rocks, you name it, it's there. The big long column down the middle, though, this is our +1/+1 counters matter column, because that's kind of what the big tilt of this deck is about the +1/+1 counters. So we have things that proliferate, we have things that put counters on things that come in with counters on them. There's just a wide array of things in this category where we can just, build up our stuff really big and then smash face, especially with those incubate tokens. And then since we're making stuff big and smashy, I have 3 cards over here that allow us to give trample to our creatures, because the incubators, they can be 6/6s, 7/7s, whatever, but they can be chump blocked by a 1/1 all day long if you can't give them something. So in this case, we have Garruk's Uprising, Master Symmetrist, and Glorious Sunrise as ways to give them trample and make them pound through. And then we have our incubate pile, which is basically all of the black and green incubate stuff that I could get my hands on. Gift of Completion, Traumatic Revelation, Bloated Processor, Completed Huntmaster, Blighted Burgeoning, Elvish Vat Keeper, Parallel Live. Well, no, Parallel Lives actually helps with our incubate tokens. That's not one of them. But then we also have Glistening Dawn. All these things get, give an incubate, and then Parallel Lives will double the amount of things that we get off of them. And then the last column is some stuff that I haven't really used a whole lot, but I thought was kind of nice to put in here. We have things like Grafted Butcher. The problem with Butcher, and I noticed this as I was playing the deck, is you have to make sure that the eggs are turned on and turned into Phyrexians before you go to combat. Otherwise, it cannot get the Menace ability off of this coming into play. But they do get the +1/+1, so there's that as well. We also have the original Glissa here from the last set, Glissa Sunslayer, First Strike, Death Touch, has her special abilities. This card I put in here because I thought it was kind of funny, since we have so many things with counters getting put on them, especially the incubates. Tenured Incaster, when it enters the battlefield, put a counter on a creature, and when one of your creatures attack with a counter, your opponents get drained for 1 life. So we have a bunch of that going on, and then we just get able to just little incremental damage off of them. And then we have God Eternal Ronus and Zopantrel Hunger Dominus. Just sometimes those incubates are only going to be like a 2/2 or a 3/3 when they flip over, while this makes them into a much larger threat that your opponent has to take seriously or they're going to get run over. And then we have our usual black-green mana suite. That's the deck. I'm going to keep this short and sweet so we can get into the gameplay. Satoru Umezawa. All right. Let us hope this game goes a little better than my last. I kept a 2-land hand and I never drew another land, and my opponent was on 6 lands before I knew it. So, yeah, a very inauspicious start for today. Duress. Well, you get a Great Henge, a Tear Asunder, or an Invasion of Fiora. I'm sure the Henge is probably the pick. Oh, Invasion. Okay. I wish I had that on turn 1. Let's go ahead and drop the Passage just in case I don't get to my next land drop. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Swamp because the Confluence can get green as well. I'm kind of surprised that maybe they just don't want me blowing up whatever freebies they get on the board later. Oh, this is why I don't like playing as blue decks. They take forever. Okay. I don't like Biting Palm Ninja, so yeah, it's gonna get shredded. You're not taking my stuff. Have a nice day. Alright, there's Satoru. We can get Glissa down this turn because they don't have counter magic up, so that's what we're gonna do. I could have done Defiler of Vigor, but I don't like that plan. Let's go ahead and incubate. Because then I can start flipping stuff over next turn. And the nice part is they spend their time trying to get rid of Glissa. That just means they're not ninjutsuing, giant crap on top of my head. But I get the feeling that there's going to be some big bomb that just gets plonked on my head. Oh, it's a hostage taker. Go figure. Oh, I hate that card. Well, I'm not letting them have that. That's going back to the command zone. So, if I had a removal spell in my hand, I would have just said screw it, let them have it, and killed it, but... Alright, fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna play Defiler of Vigor. At least this way I can keep the Glissa out of their hands. They can't, because if I couldn't kill the hostage taker, then they could cast Glissa. That's annoying. Alright, what fresh horror is coming for my face now? Because they're gonna bounce hostage taker so they can use it again. Now I see why they got rid of my board sweep. They didn't want me wiping up this mess. So now I need one of my other board sweeps to try to clean up the disaster that's in front of me. I also need a land, like really bad. Because this can take what? Target artifact. It can take artifacts too. Alright, oh, there's a land. The bad part is I still can't use Gaia's Gift. I'm gonna give them a target to work with off of their hostage taker, but this is also gonna be able to block the Siren Storm Tamer. And we'll pass. So depending on what they do here, I have a Gaia's Gift to keep Drana alive. If they don't ninjutsu the hostage taker, I can go ahead and pop an egg and block with it. What you got? They're eyeballing Drana. Okay, there's the hostage taker. Let's see what they do. I'm sure it's going for Drana. And I have a gift for that. That's a no. That's mine. Thank you. So there's no Siren Storm Tamer shenanigans going on now. Ooh, okay. Do I just Great Hinge here? Or do I just get 2 5/5s and then slam down? Because I could slam down Glissa and transform them next turn, and then I'd have a bunch of... this is so... I don't know. Is it Defiler? I'm having a debate. It's all three of these cards are actually... They have their uses. That's the thing. I think it's Defiler. And I'm going to keep Drana back. Because she can keep the Siren Storm Tamer and the Mern. Like, I can keep a lot of this from just coming at me. Like, they're going to have to come up with another way to bounce that Hostage Taker, because I will park the Defiler of Vigor or Drana right in front of it. Because that's the thing with the ninjutsu. The thing has to be unblocked, and I will gladly block that. Okay. So they're gonna try to get something else through instead. Moonblade Shinobi. What the heck? I can't even remember what the heck that does. Creates an illusion token with flying. Okay. Alright, it's not the bounce one. That's why I was like, oh god, don't bounce my Defiler of Vigor. That'd be really irritating. Alright, lands. Lands are good. Now the question becomes, what do I... Because if I do Glissa, I can't... Well, I can pay the stuff. God, this is so irritating. But I almost think I need... Actually, I need to do both. I need to do Great Henge. I'm going to do the Defiler trigger. As much as this is dangerous to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and Glistening Dawn. So then I get the 2 life back that I just paid. And as long as they don't counter this... Okay, I got a pair of 6/6s coming down. Alright. So no attacks. We're going to sit back on this stuff. That gives us blocking options. I can turn one of the 6/6s on and block with it if need be. There's a multitude of options here. Okay. So what do they got in their yard? Okay, they got Fading Hope if they want to use it. They also have Sign in Blood. Okay. So they must be digging for something, because I'm surprised they didn't get the bounce spell to bounce the Defiler of Vigor, to be honest. Because they're going to have a big army of crap coming their way next turn if they're not careful. Ashiok, okay. Well, there's nothing really in my graveyard I care about. Like, nothing flashes back, so it's like, whatever. Yeah, they got a board sweep, which at this point I'm not too concerned about. Because honestly, I think I'm going to try to take their head off next turn if they don't stop me from what I'm doing right now. Because we got enough mana now with Glissa to pay for everything we need. We can, pay the life on Glissa's activate or play pattern and get the life back with the Great Henge. So what is the other option? First Strike and Death Touch. We have options. They have something big, I just don't know what. A Storm Tamer? That's it? Like, I was expecting some big Ulamog or some big Leviathan or something to just kick me in the teeth right there. But, okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and activate this. Alright. Gift of Completion. What do I do with this? Do I just go ham here? Because they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can, if they let everything go through, it's going to be 7, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They have to block one creature. in order to live. Actually, no, it's more than that. Screw it. We're here to see Glissa do dumb stuff. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and just do the gift of completion. Next. Transform everything. Here comes the face. I think they could have survived long enough to kill us. I just want to see how this would have went down. Because they could have blocked the 6/6 and the 7/7. And then they would have taken 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They could have also blocked the 3/3. They might have lived through and still had the 2 or 3 creatures left. I think, well, I don't know. If they had removal, they might have been okay, but I'm not sure for sure if we could have won that if they hadn't scooped. Karumonix. So we got rats and poisonous ones at that. I kind of like this hand. If we get a different land than Death Cap in the second turn, this hand is actually really damn good. Actually, even, well, yeah, it would be better if I had a different land. Well, that does not help either. All right, so we're gonna do the Fabled Passage, and we'll cast the Kyrion Beast Caller right now, and I'll go ahead and just go get a Swamp out of my deck. Because this is guaranteed to come into play tap next turn no matter what, whereas now I have the second land, the Glade will come in untapped. So even if they kill my Llanowar Elves, I can cast either the Vat Keeper or the Kami of the Whispered Hopes. Burglar Rot, you say? Let's drop, what do I want to drop here? We'll drop the Rebirth. As good as the card is for the deck, it's probably the least impactful card in my hand right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and play the Kami. Because it gives us more counters on Beast Caller. And then everything I play from here on out, the Beast Caller will get 2 counters. My Incubator tokens will get 2 counters. There's a multitude of things that it'll do. I was gonna say, what you need to attack with that Burglar Rat, dude. There's no way I wouldn't do that. All right, so I'm not expecting an enchantment, so we'll go ahead and play that. Let's drop. It's like I don't want to do that until I can actually protect it. Let's drop the Vat Keeper. All right, so then I can use the safekeeping to keep stuff alive. If I can get Glissa down with 1 more land, there's things we can do here. Oh, I forgot about the adding mana off that too. It's more rat colonies. All right. I'm going to stick the Vat Keeper in front of the 5/1 rat colony. And I'll just safekeeping it. I can afford to take 5. If I take 10, I'm just dead. Okay, so I'm taking 7, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and keep this alive. That'll get rid of a rat colony, so that'll shrink their rat colony down a little bit. Oh, that's even better. Now the question becomes, do I keep that up or do I, let's see. I have 4 mana. God, I wish I could just Heroic Intervention and then Crux of Fate the board. I think at this point it's play this, and then I'll go ahead and incubate twice. No attacks. So we'll keep that up. Beast Caller is going to be available to do stuff. If they kill it before the phase begins, it doesn't matter anymore. because then the counters just get transferred to something else. That keeper can actually transform for 5. I almost forgot about that part. Alright, so they're gonna make me have to do this. I'm gonna have to drop the Crux because it's less valuable. Glissa can block here. I'll block the rat colony. Yeah, whatever. They lose 2 rats. I'm okay with that. Alright, Crossroads naming green because our green mana is kind of eh. We're gonna scry. Ooh, it's open draw. I'll keep that on top. Alright, so they get their Rat King and yeah, whatever. Let's go with 2 more incubates. Now that I'm sitting here looking at this, we'll sit back 1 more turn. So this actually has the ability now, we can either keep our stuff alive through a sweep of any sort, except for Meat Hook Massacre. That's about the only thing that can really blow us out. Alright, more rat action. You have to have a lot more than that, though, to get through that 7/7. Alright, so we're going to actually use the Vat Keeper's ability to pay 5 and make a huge guy. Alright, so they're going to have to block this. There's no getting out of this. Because we're going to turn on all of our incubator tokens. And they're coming for face. They have to block. It's like, here's my white flag of surrender. Oh, there's such a joy in beating rat decks because I hate that deck. Taborax. Alright, so we have black clerics. Sure, we'll try this. We have the 3 lands in hand to cast all these 3 drops that we're sitting on, but the sucky part is basically the game for us doesn't start until turn 3. And clerics are cheap. Yeah, they're playing a Shadowborn Apostle build, which means we're probably going to get run over, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep that on top. I don't want land screwed later. Because ideally, we would play the Bloated Processor first, and then play either Fight Rigging or Oran Reef Ooze so we can put the counter somewhere. Because I don't want to put the counter on the Ooze. That just... I don't know. It's something about that does not feel right. Plus, if I put counters on here, that I get a bigger incubate if they blow up the Bloated Processor. Yeah, I know how this is gonna go. That's a problem. Set this to black. A bunch of 1/1s, you say? Let's go ahead and do Fight Rigging. I'm gonna put, oh, duh, forgot. You gotta select something first, you ding dong. I guess Gix's Command, just as being the most expensive thing in the pile, and we'll just go ahead and swing. Yeah, they want to get their Shadowborns to get their 6. Because then they get to do their thing. The question becomes, do they have 2 more in hand and a black mana? Because they don't have... Okay, they must not have had the mana. Because they didn't have... They needed 3 black mana to go bing, bing, bing. Okay, we're getting beat up by apostles now. Let's see here. Let's drop this. Let's do... Let's drop Glissa and we'll incubate. You, because that way it gets bigger. And let's incubate twice. And let's send in the Bloated Processor. First time I've actually played with the processor, if I remember. I might have, I can't remember because it's been a while. I might have done it in my Atraxa Praetor's Voice deck that I did about 2 months ago now. God, time flies. Alright, there's Shieldred. That's a pain in the neck. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna block a Shatterborn Apostle just because I don't want the stupid things like sacrificing and killing me later. I know it makes Taborax bigger, but there's no reason to mess with it right now. My turn. Draw. What's with the draw? Oh, it's Shield Red. I was like, what's with the draw trigger? All right. If I do, if I do that, then I get those bigger. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do Vorinclex. I can put 2 counters on that. We'll incubate twice again. I'm going to view battlefield. Nothing of mine would die and everything of theirs, but the 2 on the far end would die. But then Taborax becomes gigantic. You know, let's do this. We'll do the destroy and sack. So that, I mean, we're gonna get pinged. I'm not gonna have any illusions on this. This might have just killed us. I don't know. All right, resolve all. What am I doing clicking that one at a time? So what we got here? 13, 14, 15, 16. We might have just killed them. Well, no. I screwed up. This was a mistake, and I'm gonna point this out. What I should have done. Well, actually, no, we're okay. But what I should have done, because I should have died right there, I should have not have made 2 more incubator tokens. I should have just transformed the incubators, and I would have swung for lethal because it would have been 4 more damage. So that was a mistake. Don't make that mistake. Now, the cool part here is if they wipe my board, it doesn't matter at this point because I have all these incubates. I can just turn them on my turn and swing. I mean, that's okay, but he has trample. So, all right. Oh, this is not even right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and zap ourselves. Let's just play his open draw. We're not gonna screw with this. Move to combat. Put a counter on the Trampler. Transform. Everything is doubled. Swing for the fences. So that was 20. I forgot. 28. 34. Wow. What's that? 50, 58. Not bad. It's Elenda. All right, black-white. Let's see what kind of fun they have. I'm gonna keep this hand because we have removal. We have the Ozolith as well, the Shattered Spire variety. Let's go with the Swamp. Kick that off. But yeah, let's go with this rather than ping ourselves right away. Let's go with the Ozolith. Gives us some options in terms of things that get counters. I want the land that taps for mana. Whoop, let go of that one. That one. Because I want the Oran Reef Ooze. So then I can just put the counters on itself and make it a 4/4. So probably, I'm not sure what we're doing next turn. Probably just the Grafted Butcher and the Temple of Malady. Because I want to get the tap land down. Deadly Dispute is okay. Probably need to hang on to it just in case. Let's go ahead and drop. Yeah, let's drop the Grafted Butcher. And we'll swing with the Oran Reef Ooze. It'll get 2 more counters. So, I mean, they're now in chump-a-lot mode if they don't want to take the damage. Because my stuff's growing bigger than their stuff. And the cool part here is with Invasion of Fiora, I could just name Legendary Creature and nuke Elenda. I mean, you can swing with it if you want. I'm not blocking. Not yet, anyways. Let's go ahead and do Glissa. Yes, we'll take the pain. 2 incubates, please. And yeah, we'll go ahead and swing with the 6/6. Yeah, I have to sit here and wonder, like, are they struggling with creatures or what's their deal? Because, like, they're just throwing everything under the bus. Alright, Divine... Oh, that's really dangerous for us. Yikes. Because if Elenda dies now, they will get angels instead of the little 1/1s. That makes me wonder. Let's do some more incubating. Not attacking. And we'll end the turn for now. Because I can activate Ozolith. I can sack an incubator. To get the Deadly Dispute to operate for us. Or I could even sacrifice the Grafted Butcher. Which might actually be the smart play. Because I could block... Because I can bring it back from my graveyard to give my Phyrexians all menace. So... let's go ahead and sacrifice the Butcher. I'm okay with that. I probably should have done it in response, but it's okay. And let's do... now I'm trying to figure out... oh, I can only do that as a sorcery. Okay, never mind. I didn't realize that. My turn. Ooh, Terra Sunder, though, completely screws Elenda, but I should probably just get rid of the Divine Visitation, to be perfectly honest. Let's go ahead and shock ourselves. Let's just pay the 2 and get rid of the Divine Visitation. I'm not gonna deal with that stupidity. Let's do Kami of Whispered Hopes. And then let's do Bone Shards? Is that what I want? Bone Shards kill Elenda. They have a bunch of 1/1s, and that's all they have is a bunch of 1/1s. I mean, they can recast Elenda. You know what? Yeah. We'll discard a card. Elenda can die. We'll discard the Invasion of Fiora. I'd rather have Takenuma to get things back out of my graveyard if I need to. Such as God Eternal Ronus. So they're going to get their 5 tokens, excuse me. And then Glissa is going to transform all of our stuff. And then this gives... oh yeah, that works. Everybody in the pool except for Glissa. So these are now 4/4, or 6/6s. I forgot because that was a with. That's a lot of damage. You take it, you die. So, and they gave up. So far today, this deck is doing pretty good for us. Angrath, Captain of Chaos. All right, you don't see him too often. You're probably going to see him more often though because of the Lord of the Rings set. Because the amass mechanic in that set does work with the amass mechanic from War of the Spark. So you will see the old amass cards cropping up in the game once that kicks off. So yeah, probably doing Blighted Burgeoning this turn. We'll do it on the Swamp. So that'll give us a 2 incubate there to work with. Which then we can use to sacrifice. Oh, it's this kind of deck. Okay, I see what's going on here. There's Beast Caller, and then let's do Bloated Processor. We're gonna try to get that Beast Caller out of range of Fine Finality, so we can just nuke their board. Unless they, well, of course, they could just use discard. That's what the rat decks do. They make you discard your stuff, so then you can't do anything about it. We'll take that hit. Ooh, okay. Let's do... Now this becomes a question of what I want to do with this. Let's go ahead and get the Ozolith down, and I'll still have Deadly Dispute available to us. So like if the processor dies in combat, I'll get an extra counter on the Incubate token. I can Deadly Dispute something. I mean, I have options here. All right, let's Deadly Dispute, and I will sink this. 2 lands. I'm kind of glad I did that. All right, so we're up to Fine Finality mana. I could just Fine Finality and get the Beast Caller above board and then sweep everything up, which might be what I want to do. It would put 3 counters on the Beast Caller and then give everything -4/-4. But unfortunately, I won't get anything out of the Bloated Processor if I do that. The other option is to you know, this is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm doing this. We'll go ahead and incubate. So we have those sitting in wait. No attacks. So we have those waiting to go off. Because if I nuke the board, then she turns them over. These will still be at full power. Okay, we're not dead yet. We'll be at 2 if we don't block any of those. I have a treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could use the... You know what? Let's do this. Let's double block one of them. And that's all I'm blocking. I'll take the 15. So the processor will turn into an incubator token, a 3/3. Actually 4/4 because of the Ozolith. Alright, so we have this going for us. Let's do... Yes, let's do this. Let's do Finality. We'll put the counters on the Beast Caller. Keeps it alive. Kills all their stuff. We're going to transform all of our tokens. We're going to go ahead and swing at their face. I don't care about Angrath and what he's doing. Because next turn, if I slam that God Eternal, they're just screwed. Yeah, because all they got is rats. So it's like, I don't care. Let's see. And I still have the ability to just do this. So let's go ahead and activate this. Let's put this on Glissa. Let's slam God Eternal Ronus, and we're just going for the gold. Boom. Death Touch. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's so much damage. It's like, they have to block the 20/20, they have to block the 10/7, and they're still going to take, what is that, 12/20 damage. So it's like, adios. Narset Enlightened Exile. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep this. Narset can blow you out of the water really freaking quick, so it's hard to say how well this is going to go. Yeah, they already have the third path iconoclast in there, so like they're going to start getting a bunch of little tokens, and then they're going to be able to just go wide and smash us in the teeth. But let's see what happens. They're short white right now, which is actually where a lot of the tokens come from, is white. Let's see here. Let's go fight rigging, because then I can swing with the beast collar. Ooh, let's put Storm of Seed Core under that. This is actually the first deck I've put Storm of Seed Core into, but I thought it was appropriate because we're going wide with a bunch of incubates, and I'd like to give them trample on the fly if I need to. Alright. Let's go, if I do that, that's 2 mana left. If I go Burgeoning first, that's still only 2 mana left. There's some things going on here I'm not sure what to do with. If I do this, I get the 2/3, and then I have the ability to sacrifice stuff. If I do this, I'm still only having 2 mana left. Decisions. I think I'll go with the one that generates the incubate token, because then I can actually use the mana off that to turn the incubate on. Alright. Let's hit let's go after Saheeli, so I make them block, because they want to keep that alive, because they didn't minus it last turn to make a servo. So I know that they want to keep that alive. And I'm hanging on to this to give menace to my Phyrexians. The ideal play here against a Narset deck, if you've never seen this before, is to try to keep their creatures down as much as possible. And I really need a removal spell, because that card is dangerous as hell. So yeah, we're going to activate this, and I'm going to throw it right in front of that, because it needs to die. We need to keep them from generating advantage off of that. Alright, so let's get Glissa down while they're tapped out. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to fight rig again. Yeah, this is how you beat Narset. You keep the creatures dead, because then Narset does jack all if there's no creatures around. Rats are popular today. This is my third rat deck today. We'll try it. I'm just kind of sitting here like, is this a good hand or not? In my mind, I don't really know. So we can do Ooze next turn. Put the counters on the Beast Collar. She'll get a counter. We'll put another counter on her too, because her counters move around, unlike some of the other stuff that's going on. So if they decide to kill the Beast Collar, those 2 counters can just go over to the Ornreef Ooze. So, yeah, I'm just going to block that. Because again, some of the best ways to deal with the rat decks is just make it so they don't have anything to put on there. I'm going to put Parallel Lives down, because we can play Glissa next turn and get 4 incubates off of her, which is insanity when you really boil it down. We're gonna take some hits. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, Glissa's coming down. She'll get a little bit bigger, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the 4 incubates down. Not attacking, because what I'm gonna do probably is end up blocking one of the rats with this, so I can keep myself alive just a little bit longer. Because the Beast Collar is not gonna get anything out of the Grafted Butcher transformation stuff. But I can also put those counters over onto Glissa. So that's what we're going to do there. So now she's big enough to, block and do dumb stuff. Let's play the Great Henge. So the problem is I can't transform and drop this in the same turn. because they have to be turned before I drop the Butcher, and I don't have Flash. So, doesn't do me a ton of good. So let's just do this. We'll transform all of them and keep them back as blockers. So if they want to swing the rats into these and let them die, I'm okay with that. Because I can just regenerate all this the next turn. Yeah, see, they're just spamming rats. And it's like, whatever. I mean, swing your 8/1s. Okay, pass. I'll block Karumonix. Rat. I mean, this just shrinks their stuff. And I don't take any damage. And their stuff is just dead again. I'll gain 2 life. Alright, Heroic Intervention, even better. Alright, so we'll move to combat. Let's go ahead and do more incubates. And we'll pass the turn. So I can manually turn on all these incubate tokens. And just, you know, stick them in front of the rat colonies. Which, if that happens, they may scoop. Okay, they got 3 more rat colonies, which is hoop-de-doo. Okay, so I'm going to actually go ahead and start activating these instead of letting Glissa do crap for me, because I want to be able to do the grafted butcher stuff. Because we need to be able to just start killing them. Alright, so first strike, death touch. They take 2, 4, 6, 8. They can just crack back on us though. That's the problem. So let's just go ahead and incubate again. We're just gonna create a wall. They're not low enough for us to justify trying to alpha strike out at the moment. But we can do the same thing we did last turn. I can just start turning on these incubates. Jeez. It's like, how many freaking rats did you draw? All right, pass to blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick this in front of Karumonix. 5, Heroic Intervention. Pass. So my stuff lives. All theirs dies. We're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna start activating the eggs here. If the interface will let me click through. So just to see what was gonna happen here, we would have had 8 Phyrexian egg tokens. We would have had Glissa online, and the grafted butcher would have came down and given them all menace. I would have used Glissa to give them all death touch and first strike until end of turn. So they would have had first strike, death touch, menace. They would have only been able to block 2 things. So they would have blocked, you know, one of these in Glissa, basically, and took 21 damage. So that's what we needed to wait for, is just to kind of grind through all that rat value. So what do you guys think? I had a lot of fun with the deck. This deck was actually built about a month ago, and the first time I played it, it failed abysmally. I don't know if it was just that the game was putting me up against certain decks and I wasn't having a good time with it or what, but I lost like 6 or 7 times, so I shelved the deck and it was just like, all right, we'll come back to this another time. But this morning I went ahead and went through the deck, refixed stuff in it, went through and was like, okay, this is kind of too expensive. You know, just kind of rejiggered the deck a little bit, and it played much better. Overall, I think I played probably 6 or 7 games, and I only lost 1, which was the very first one that I lost to Mana Screw. That one's not in the video because it's not interesting to watch somebody lose to Mana Screw. With that said, if you have any suggestions for the deck, I'd love to hear them. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and keep an eye out. I'm doing some Lord of the Rings decks here coming soon.